Okay, hello. We're live. I'm actually recording this. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening off university. Ayan. So on this video, I will be discussing to you guys the difference of local e-commerce and international dropshipping. Ayan. So, kung mapapansin niyo as of this recording, merong mas nag-focus ako dun sa part ng local e-commerce kasi doon ako talaga nagsimula. Actually, nag-try ako ng international dropshipping before, but I think I have mentioned it to you guys that I failed. Yes, I did fail the international arena because it's too competitive there. And I was a beginner dati, sobrang newbie ako. So, ang pangit ng mga videos ko, hindi ako marunong gumawa ng ad copy, hindi ako marunong tumingin ng tamang product na pwedeng ibenta sa mga customers. And then, looking back, like after more than a year, so na-realize ko yung mga mistakes ko. Kaya ayan, that's why I have decided to make a course or a coaching program para hindi nyo na mas ma-experience pa yung mga na-experience ko noon, and it's gonna save you time and most importantly your money. Okay, kasi talagang nakakasunog siya ng pera kapag ka tinry mo on your own without a mentor or coach who will tell you what would be the things na dapat mong iwasan, ano yung mga bagay na dapat mong i-consider. Ayan, so now on this video, I'm gonna show you the comparison of local e-commerce and dropshipping. Okay? Sa Pilipinas kasi hindi natin sinasabing dropshipping. Kasi pag ang ibig sabihin ng dropshipping ay wala sa'yo yung item. So, nasa supplier yung item and then the supplier will ship the item, will drop the item to your customers. Okay? Kaya siya dropshipping style. Now, local e-commerce, yung tawag natin sa e-com in the Philippines because it's basically e-commerce din naman, flipping products, physical products to sell it for a profit, and then it's done locally. Kaya siya local e-commerce. Malinaw? So, it's just a term. Okay? So, pag sinabi kong dropshipping, I meant international. Pwede ka rin namang mag-dropshipping sa Philippines kung meron kang supplier na, let's say, na-meet mo sa supplier sa Lazada or sa Shopee, and then you ask them to ship the products in your behalf. So, what you will do is give the information ni customer dun kay supplier, and then they will be the one to ship it. Get? So, yun, dropshipping yun. Basta ang essence ng dropshipping is hindi mo hawak yung supply. Okay? Now, let's discuss the pros and cons of local and dropshipping. Now, dito muna tayo sa local. Bakit mas nag-succeed ako sa local? Bakit mas, hindi naman sa mas ini-encourage ko yung local, kundi mas may experience kasi ako pagdating sa local e-commerce. Though, today, effective today, March 29, sinubukan ko ulit na mag-launch ng isang ad sa international. So, babalitaan ko kayo what's gonna happen on that. Now, local e-commerce, number one, the good side or the advantage of local e-commerce is that low yung competition dito. Okay? So, hindi tayo napapasok pa ng mga international sellers sa mga taga-US, taga-Australia, taga-Canada, who are also dropshipping. The number one reason is that cash on delivery kasi yung gusto ng mga Filipinos, 'di ba? Even us minsan, kahit meron tayong debit card, kahit may PayPal tayo, kahit may credit card tayo, sometimes we still prefer na COD or cash on delivery for the risk itself. Diba? Kasi you already paid for the item and blah blah blah. Basta like based on the research, and Lazada even said that 70% of their sales are coming from COD or cash on delivery. So that's number one advantage of Filipinos doing this business is because hindi mo ka-compete or your competition is not United States people who are trying to sell businesses or doing e-commerce here in the Philippines. They cannot infiltrate that much because of the COD. Okay? Yon, low pa yung competition natin. Although marami na rin nag-e-com dito sa Philippines, pero ang kalaban mo lang is yung common Filipino. And then usually, if they're really not serious on this business, they stop. Kasi mahirap din naman talaga, di ba? Mahirap maghanap ng product, mahirap maghanap ng supplier. So, ang tendency nila is to drop out of the competition, out of the race. So, talagang matira matibay. Correct? So, yun, that's the number one advantage that I see is that low yung competition natin. The positive side of that is mas madaling ma-infiltrate, mas madali talagang magka-sales dito sa Philippines. Yun nga kasi konti pa lang tayo. Now, the downside naman o yung mga difficulty ng isang naglo-local e-com is that number one, since COD nga siya, you have to wait for like a week bago mabalik sa'yo yung pera mo na kasi 'di ba the customers will pay for the, let's say, LBC. So babayaran ni customer mo si LBC. So si LBC yung magre-remit sa'yo ng pera. It might take a few days to a week bago ma-remit sa'yo ni LBC or ni Check Me Out or ni Lazada yung funds mo. So, yung pagpapaikot ng puhunan, yung pagpapaikot ng kapital, medyo nadidelay. Lalo na kapag na-delay si courier na ibigay sa'yo. So, sometimes if ang delay mo is like 100,000, 200,000 na nakapending kasi hindi pa nagre-remit sa'yo si Lazada or si LBC, yun yung magiging problem mo dahil wala ka ng pang-ads, wala ka ng pang-Facebook ads kasi nga, hinihintay mo yung pagre-remit sa'yo. So, that's number one downside as well ng COD naman. Ang isa sa pinakamahirap sa local e-commerce ay yung paghahanap ng maayos na supplier. Diba? Sa lectures natin, ang mga mararami talagang mga suppliers are in Alibaba and AliExpress. Now, ang AliExpress kasi, ang e-packet na tinatawag, kapag kinlik mo yung e-packet and then you're gonna ship it to the Philippines, it might take you 60 days para ma-receive yung item. No one in the right state of mind will wait for 60 days or 2 months for you to get what you ordered online. Correct? So, for example, I ordered a power bank. Tapos, ginamit ko e-packet, AliExpress. Philippines yung customer. 60 days, 'di ba? Or 40 days, ganyan. Tapos, kukunin pa nila yun kalimitan sa post office. So, very hassle, 'di ba? Kaya, ang ina-advise ko nga sa inyo is kumuha kayo ng bulk na item from Alibaba. Ang Alibaba kasi wholesale sila. 'Di ba? So you order wholesale tapos maraming discounts, makakatipid ka kapag sa Alibaba. Now the downside of that naman is that kapag by air mo siya pinadala, so air freight, mahal. Kasi dumaan ng eroplano 'di ba? So mahal yung shipping fee. Kasi ipapatong mo yun dun sa product mo, correct? Now, kapag nag-by sea naman, by dagat, yung item, it might also take 25 to 35 days para makarating sa Philippines kasi mabagal, 'di ba? Kapag dagat, pag by sea yung shipping. So, yun yung mga disadvantage kapag umorder ka sa Alibaba. Tapos, haharangin pa to ng customs. Diba? Sometimes we have taxes kapag kahinarang ng custom dito sa Philippines. Yon. So, yun yung mga bad like, not really bad, but disadvantage of ordering in Alibaba naman. So, I also suggest that, siguro kapag malaki na talaga yung nakapag-run na kayo ng ads and then you determine na predict ninyo na within 1 month, 100 yung orders or 200 orders ka in a month, what you can do is really order by sea. Pero matagal nga lang. So, like, kukuha ka na ng bulk kasi mahal yun kapag ka nag-air freight ka. Okay? Do you get it? I hope I'm making sense. Another downside or one of the difficulty in local e-commerce is that yung courier natin dito is very bad. We do have experiences na nawawala yung item, 'di ba? In transit tapos biglang Pag tinamad si courier, hindi man lang nila hinahanap yung address, bigla na lang nilang lalagyan ng note doon na the customer is not available or ni-refuse daw ni client or ni customer yung item. Pero kapag tinext naman or tinawagan si customer, sasabihin ni customer, nandito lang ako buong maghapon, wala namang dumarating na courier. So, tinatamad si courier na ibigay yung item. Kasi sometimes, I don't know, if they're just after the salary, tas hindi nila talaga siya ship, binabalik na nila sa seller. So, that's a bad side na loss talaga yun ng mga sellers, no? We do have experience na yung mga nag-e-commerce dito, they lose millions of pesos dahil dun sa RTS o yung tinatawag nating return to sender. Binabalik sa sender, sa seller, yung item kahit hindi naman effort man lang na ibigay or nag-attempt man lang na i-ship dun sa customer. We have lots of experiences like that. Kahit na anong career yata, mapalazada or LBC meron din eh. So yun yung mga bad side. This is the real talk ng local e-commerce. Now, punta tayo sa international. The positive side of international is that you already have the funds. Hindi ito COD. The customers will pay you via credit card or PayPal. So, kapag ka nag-order sila, they already give you the money upfront. So, mapapaikot mo na yung kapital, yung puhunan, kasi may pera ka na eh, di ba? Nag-profit ka na immediately bago mo pa i-ship yung item o yung product. So, you already have the funds. The downside of that naman is that there's a possible chargeback or refund from the customers. Like they will, parang if they change their mind, they will contact their credit card provider saying that this is a chargeback, or they will contact PayPal. But you have a counter naman doon na if you show the proof that the customer really bought this item from you, mananalo ka naman dun sa chargeback o kaya sa PayPal. Pwede mo naman ding i-refund if you wanted to. Okay? Ano pa ba? Sa international naman, hindi mo kailangang mag-worry sa supply. Kasi, si supplier ang bahala nun. So, yung mga taga-AliExpress ang bahala. So, what you will do is, once na may order ka international, you get to encode mo lang yung order dun sa website, dun sa AliExpress mismo, dun sa login ni supplier, and then si supplier yung bahala. Hindi mo nahahawakan yung item. That's why it's called drop shipping. Hindi mo hawak yung item, so ang tendency is that si supplier ang bahalang mag-ship ng item. Kahit na anong makita mo sa AliExpress, pwede mo siyang ibenta. Kasi si supplier yung bahala. Hindi ka mukha dito sa Philippines, nahahanap ka ng supply kasi nga on hand tayo. We prefer na hawak natin yung item bago natin siya ibigay kasi there's a tendency na dahil nga cash on delivery tayo, ang tendency is that si customer pwede kasi magbago yung isip niya eh, di ba? Ang hinahabol natin dito yung 2 to 3 days or maximum of 1 week na nabigay mo na yung item sa kanya. Dahil nga cash on delivery, hindi mo naman hawak yung pera, so the customer can change their minds na ayoko na ng product o baka nakalimutan nila na may order sila kasi ang tagal mo mag-ship eh, 'di ba? Like for 30 days or dahil nga dumaan sa Alibaba or AliExpress yung item, you might ship like 30 to 40 days. And then yung power bank nakabili na pala sa Kim Store, 'di ba? O nakabili na sa Lazada, nakabili na sa SM. So dapat hawak mo yung item para ship agad. Because anytime they can change their minds. And remember, cash on delivery. They don't owe you anything kasi hindi pa naman sila nagbabayad. Does it make sense? Alright. The other side naman, okay, so sa international, that's the good side, no? You don't need the supply. Hindi mo kailangan ng warehouse dahil si supplier, yung mga suppliers mo, ang magbibigay ng product kay customer. The good side of international dropshipping as well is that your market is the whole world. You can market to United States, to Australia, to Canada, to Denmark, to Japan, whatever it is na merong e-packet service sa AliExpress, you can really do dropshipping. So, the whole world is your market. Whereas on the Philippine side, kapag nag-local e-commerce ka, Philippines lang yung mabibentahan mo. But then, yun nga, meron din naman siyang sarili niyang advantage, right? So, the disadvantage naman ng international, ng dropshipping is that there's a very high competition na, ang taas ng competition dito because since the world is your market, the world is also your competitor. Lahat ng nagda-dropshipping sa Paraguay, sa India, sa United States, nagda-dropshipping sa Australia, sa Canada. So, lahat yan may mga nagda-dropshipping na dyan. Hindi lang tayong mga Filipinos. So, competitor natin sila. So, let's say nagbibenta ka ng power bank. You wanted to sell a power bank to your customers. But those people who are also selling the same item or a different kind of brand that's also power bank, competitor mo yon. So, mataas ang competition sa international market. Mataas din ang budget kasi dollars yan, di ba? You are paying CPM na dollars. Hindi kagaya dito sa Philippines, mababa lang yung kailangan mong spend para magka-sales ka, para magka-catching ka. Sa international, you really have to spend a lot of money so that you can test because the competition is really high, 'di ba? Remember that Facebook is a bidding process. So if you bid against somebody else, there's a high chance that that person will win the bidding because it's a bidding war, yung Facebook ads. Okay? It makes sense? Now, if you still want to make a store na international, you need at the very least PayPal business account. Okay? So, pwedeng ma-hold ni PayPal yung funds natin like for 180 days or 21 days muna. 21 to 108 days, depende, no? Usually, it's 21 days just to make sure that the item is received by the customer na hindi mo agad withdrawin yung funds mo from PayPal to your bank account. Kasi pag hindi naman, it's like what they call the buyer protection. Kasi kapag hindi pala naka-receive si buyer ng item, tapos nag-dispute siya kay PayPal, pero wala na yung funds sa PayPal account, withdraw mo na, pinang-shopping mo na, wala nang habol si buyer doon. That's why PayPal hold the money in your PayPal account to make sure na si buyer na receive niya naman yung item. Okay, does it make sense? So, yon, merong PayPal hold pa yan. You need, what you need is yon nga, number one is PayPal for you to receive the funds. And then, as you move along, you have to also create your Stripe account and your Tuk checkout, either or, Stripe or Tuk checkout, para you can also receive payments coming from debit cards and credit cards from international customers. Okay? So, ang Stripe naman ay para lang yan sa mga US. So, paano tayo nagkakaroon ng Stripe? You need to apply for an LLC o kaya parang meron kang sole proprietorship. I don't know kung pwede yung sole sa US. I think pwede naman. But you can also apply for LLC sa Delaware and then you have to pay for that. That's about $264 2 years ago. I'm not sure ngayon kung nag-increase na sila. So, you have to pay for that because you have to have a tax ID. Parang tax, kumbaga dito sa Philippines, parang tax permit, yung permit to operate. Ganon. So, dapat meron ka nun sa US, tax ID. So, that's, bibigyan ka ng EIN. I forgot what EIN is. Parang, yun nga, parang tax ID siya in short sa US. And then, once you have that, you can apply na sa LLC. Tapos, pag meron ka na nun, yun kasi yung kailangan mo, yung EIN or tax ID ang kailangan mo para magkaroon ka ng Stripe account. Okay? So, yun, medyo masalimuot, marami. Pero, in the beginning, you can also create mo na PayPal. Alright? So, that ends this video. You have to weigh kung ano yung sa palagay mong it's worth the risk. Saan ka mas mahihirapan? Saan ka mas madadalian? At ano yung path na gusto mong tahakin, ayan, in e-commerce. But remember guys, as I end this video, that if you persist and if you pursue this, I trust me that this is a very lucrative business, and you know that a lot of people have become millionaires because of this kind of business, the internet business, and it's very booming and it's very promising at the moment. Still naman, no, okay pa rin naman ang e-commerce sa Philippines man or sa international. It's really a good business to be in right at this very moment. And I know it's hard finding a supplier or Setting up an international store, it could be really expensive at the beginning, but remember guys that if it's easy, everyone will do it. 'Di ba? So, kung madali lang 'to, lahat na ng tao nag-e-commerce. But then, para lang 'to sa mga matitibay, sa mga malalakas ang loob, at sa mga willing mag-take ng risk para hindi na sila kasama sa rat race na palagi tayong naghahanap ng trabaho, naka-login ka ng 9 AM to 5 PM, tapos hahanap ka pa ng isang client. It's very exhausting, nakakapagod. But if you are someone who wants to become an entrepreneur or run your own business and become a millionaire someday, you have to take the risk. Right? So that's all for now on this video. I hope you guys learned something. If you have a question, feel free to ask me, and feel free to also put the comments on our Facebook group. All right? So bye for now.